Good morning, traders. This is Michael coming to you from Gamma Edge on Thursday, September 28th with our pre-market morning strategy session and briefing. Commentary has been posted to the SPX PBI BMO channel for in-depth commentary about the market structure and levels we're watching for today. PDF has been posted for members this morning. Gamma Edge summary, make sure you're looking at this commentary and understanding it. We'll quickly go through the charts. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The SPX PM settled.
Unlock your potential with a comprehensive suite of investing tools and expert education with Gamma Edge. Start your free 14-day trial today.
SPX PM settled here. All expiries turned on. Quick visual is the transition level is wide and loose, so really not a good structure to be looking at for if this then this, but we do also have important levels below us. We are in the money, out of the money put dominated, negative deltas, a significant amount of net negative gamma here. So understand where you're at in the overall market structure and where spot price is. 42.50 the downside continues to be that level we watch. We cut below it yesterday briefly down into that 42.40 where we're watching the vol-u-vol-d command for targeting, and then we started to rebound back up. 4,300 overhead will be a significant level, 3 billion negative net delta sitting there, 100,000 contracts. So going above that level will take a significant amount of put closing and then call speculation above that for us to move up to the upside. Again, that bottom transition area. Below 42.50, we'd be looking for more weakness down to 42.25 and 4,200, and above 4,300, we'd be looking for 43.15, that next negative net delta, larger area of OI above us. Zero DTE, we've had some structure change here. Make sure we're noting that and understanding. Look back for yesterday and look at the previous zero DT structure, plus one DT structure heading into today. We've had an erosion of the out of money puts below us, which is slightly a change in the bearish structure. So these are exposing these in the money calls at the moment. Again, 42.50, you'll notice a significant amount of positive net delta coming. Now these are positive net delta from in the money calls below spot price. So again, these will be supportive as we have call net delta below us as we move down into those levels. If we see these calls close and we see significant put targeting below us, then we would anticipate more weakness. To the upside, we have negative net deltas and puts. So if spot price does start to drift up, it will be at the discretion of these put holders that are in the money to start closing or holding, and that could determine or depend on how far spot price is able to move up to the upside. Again, in the overriding larger structure, we'd look at 4,300 and then 43.15 to the upside. We see these significantly drop off pretty quickly as we move up these puts and calls. Really above 43.30 drops off there, and then below 42.20 drops off pretty significantly there. So anticipation is 42.50 would hold to the downside, 4,300 would be that upside level if we did see any push to see some stalling. So that would be a nice range for the zero DTE today. Plus one DTE structure is still pretty negative. We do have some of those out of the money put holders that closed, that now exposing those in the money call holders. But again, 42.10 to the downside, 42.25. 42.50 pretty significant. We are put dominated above and below spot price. 1.4 million OI heading into Friday, which is pretty significant for the expiry. So again, to the upside, we'll be watching 4,300. Do note that we are significantly below transition, which is still bearish and net negative. Expected move is only 0.96 now heading into tomorrow. So that would be right in that 43.10 to the upside, and then right around that 42.30 to the downside, 42.50, 42.30 area to the downside. So we'll watch this, watch the vol-u-vol-d command intraday and see if we see any change in targeting. Also keep your eye on the web app as see if this structure will change intraday. Here's the balance of the week. Obviously for today and tomorrow, again 1.7 million OI, so significant expiry. Again, you can reference previous days. You've noted that the out of the money puts have eroded, which is mechanical closing, and then now exposes those in the money calls. Again, 42.40, 42.50 to the downside. We are within this transition area, so we could just see a bounce back and forth, range bound up to 4,300. If we drop below this in-trans level at 42.70, which we previously had 42.75 to 42.80, then I anticipate some more weakness down to 42.50. And the path to the upside looks really to 4,300 and then possibly 43.10 to 43.15. but it looks like that would probably most likely be the cap to the upside unless we see significant call targeting and then significant put closing, which would help move this structure to the upside and obviously concurrent price to the upside. Here is next week. Really, structure hasn't changed much here. Put dominated above and below spot price. Well below transition, you see where the in trans is up there at 43.30. Again, 42.50 the downside and 4,200 significant levels, and then 4,300 the upside, and then pushing up to 43.10. Drops off pretty significantly there. So really that same range that we're looking at for this week into next week and the total complex. Again, we'll need to see a complete structure change. Those would be those out of the money puts closing, exposing the in the money calls, and then you'd need to see the call speculation to the upside start taking over for a significant move to the upside. So as of now, next week still still the structure is bearish until we see any change in this. Here's the mothership, super tanker, combo complex. Again, put dominated. Denoted negative 1 billion net delta, so this will take days to possible weeks to have a total structure change. Again, put dominated. We do see some small peaks of in the money calls below us, so those would be out of the money puts that closed, exposing those in the money calls. What you would want to see is a significant change in the structure below us, significant closing in those out of the money puts. And exposing those in the money calls below us. Again, 4,200 to the downside, pretty significant. We have the JPM hedge there also at 42.10, heading into the end of the month and into the quarter. To the upside, 4,300, very significant, 6 billion negative net delta, 400,000 contracts. So absorbing through this level will take multiple days. It won't be an instantaneous move through this. Could move above it and below it and just kind of chop around those levels. So again, well below transition. We'd like to see this start to narrow and close up, which would mean a tightening structure and a little bit more balance, but right now it's wide and loose. So anticipate more volatility. 0.61% expected move, though, is very low, obviously, on this combo structure, but we understand the expected move into Friday also. So we've denoted that and discussed that. So market structure heat map, red across the board. Negative net deltas, SPX, SPY, NDX. Qs did change to a yellow state yesterday, IWM, DIA, and then GLD. So make sure you're watching these throughout the day. Watching the left-hand pane, right-hand pane if you want to run those delta charts, or just reference Dan's market structure heat map the next morning. That'll give you a good idea of where the market structure is at. We are reaching some extremes in the GEX ratios, so understand that we are reaching an area that we could have an opportunistic bounce back to the upside, where we're below 0.6, which becomes an area that becomes a little more enticing for a move back to the upside. So make sure you're just looking at those. Again, we're not projecting or stating that we're going to get a move back to the upside, but we're reaching those levels where our back testing says that a bounce, relief bounce, put monetization closing to the upside could happen. Here is your sectors, obviously significantly red, so you can go through those. XLC and XLE are the only two sectors that are sticking out green, and XLE did have a nice move to the upside yesterday. So if you're looking for any long stocks yesterday, those would be the ones that I would first go to. XOM and CVX are those top weighted stocks that did pretty well yesterday. Here's liquidity stocks, again, referencing those which ones are still green or changing to a yellow state. Reds, obviously still put dominated with the deltas. CVX yesterday, the upside, nice move, 1.93%. So understanding that those would be the first stocks. I think Google held in pretty well yesterday too. So if we do get a market structure sentiment regime change, these are the first stocks I would go to look for moves back to the upside. And looking through these, we did have some state changes from red to yellow. So opportunistic here if we do get a move back to the upside. XOM, UNH still in the green delta dominated states. Tick here, I'll go ahead and scroll down. Understanding we're still in continuation down days, railroad track down. We did start to see some consolidation sideways towards the end of the day as we got that most likely put monetization quick bounce. Understanding the tag combos and where we're at. We still need to close above a previous day close. We need to have one of those. We really haven't had any of those yet. Red below cyan, significant negative slope. So this, again, will take The CT can take one day, but it will take multiple days for us to start getting above the moving averages, living above the moving averages, and changing the slope from lower left to upper right instead of upper left to lower right. That's all I have for today. Make sure you reference the Game Edge PDF this morning. We'll be in the Discord in just a few minutes. So quick TLDR takeaway. We're starting to see a slight change on the 0 DTE, and understanding that this is just a short-term look. +1 DT is still bearish. Overall structure is still bearish, but this may be the first beginning changes if we're going to see an overall trend change. So we'll watch those throughout the day and look for the targeting on the vol-u-vol-d command heading into the day. So let's make it a great day. We'll be in Discord in just a few minutes, and we'll see you. Thanks.